I've been reviewing my essays that I wrote in the last sitting and seeing like what I can improve on those sort of thing. But I'll probably start
How
with
do you
my.
how do you remember them?
Oh, I wrote them on my laptop, so I had them saved.
The uh,
So I
the
just
like the for the actual exam or like a practice
no,
exam?
not the actual one. Those are just
Oh,
practice ones.
okay, yeah, got you.
Yeah.
How are you getting people to look at them, or are you just reviewing them yourself?
I got there was this guy on YouTube. I think it's like a Rohan GAMSAT or something. I got his thing to review some of my essays and got feedback on those. But majority of the essays I'm just reviewing them myself
Yeah, okay.
and seeing where I can improve.
Yeah,
But
I'm
what
not.
are you doing right now? Are you?
So I'm just doing instead of writing full essays, because I've got like I feel like I have a little bit of time before the exam, so I'm not really in exam mode at the moment. So I'm just writing some essay plans. Well, that's what I want to do. Not actual full essays. So like um kind of just follow like the structure I would write. So like an introduction and some bodies and a conclusion and stuff. But instead of writing them out fully, just have the ideas for them. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So like you got one prompt and then you just try and like brainstorm ideas that you can come off of that sort of thing. Is that what you're
Yeah,
trying to do?
yeah. So what I'll do to start, I don't know. By the way, I don't know if this is the best way to go about it. This is just kind of what I've been doing lately. But I'll just so like I'll read the quotes and then figure out what the topic is, and then I'll kind of come up with like a thesis, something that I want to argue for. Um, and then I'll kind of come up with a contention alongside that. So I've got my argument, and then I've got the interesting like contention bit, and then I will uh, come up with the ideas of the two paragraphs, and then maybe like a counter idea as well, like a counter argument or something, and then
Yeah.
figure
Mm.
out like maybe just a few dot points of how I'm going to wrap it up in the conclusion.
Oh yeah, that's similar to what I was doing as well. Just like a quick essay plan using prompts
Yeah.
instead of writing the whole essay. Okay. What do you have a prompt? Are these your prompts here on the
Yeah. So I
thing?
just use the Can you? I'm sharing my screen, aren't I? I am.
You are, but just a bit blurry. I can't.
I'll zoom in.
The good act.
So like I use this.
Oh yeah.
Do you know this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
The
just use
quote
that.
generator.
Yeah.
Can't.
But I actually have to, I'm not doing it right now. I actually have to figure out how to fucking fix this application that I messed up somehow before I do this.
I mean, the requirements to get a medicine for rural are way lower than um city people. So
Yeah, I think
assuming the
it's
progress.
it's not that like it's not that much of a change, right? Isn't it? You just get like a few extra points added onto your like score, right? Like it's I know there's a few positions that like I think it's like some places have like 20% allocation for like rural. Um, but that would fill up pretty fast. So it's still you're still going on you're still going on your scores for stuff like your GPA and GAMSAT, but you just get an extra 2 points or something, right?
Not extra point. You just like the entrance requirements are lower. So
Right.
like the GAMSAT requirements. Like what uni are you thinking of to go into?
Just fucking anywhere. I don't care.
Anyway, but I think you probably have already a good chance because you're all for Deakin Uni, just with a good GPA and
Mm.
stuff. But I'm trying to go to Melbourne, so they they use their unweighted GAMSAT score. So even for like rural people, I think like the minimum score to get in is like a 68 or something, like a 65.
That's like the average, or like the average of accepted students is 68.
Well, 68 for rural people.
Because I think technically, right, the minimum is just 50% in each section, but what the average of people scoring would be around 68. Isn't that how they kind of word it?
Yeah, that's how they usually do it.
Yeah.
And they're split it between metro people and rural people. And
I
they
want to. I'm yet to see like a stat or a anything on. I want to see the range, so like the minimum and maximum scores would be interesting to see. So like, what's the lowest GAMSAT score that a student has got into for a particular uni,
Yeah.
and then again, like, what's the highest?
I don't think they release that sort of data though.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
they wouldn't,
yeah,
but it'd still be cool to see.
yeah. Unless like somebody just like shared their what they got and
Hmm.
like what uni accepted them. You know what? Alright, just gonna get started.
Did you want to do one together, or you just want to chill and do your own thing?
No, we can do it together. I mean, if that's cool with you,
Ah, yeah, yeah. I'll do this. I'll do this. Um,
we can do this together. The one
alright.
that you have right now.
Okay, yeah, cool. So it's pretty. I think it's pretty obvious. The topic is justice, right?
Yeah,
So I kind of have a real. I'm thinking of like I have a real world example of this, and I think it's kind of good to use real experiences or like ideas. So like just I didn't really go through the quotes in depth. I just kind of got the theme, and then based on the theme of justice, I kind of start thinking about um in my own life, like where have I experienced that, or have I got any like situations? And I do counseling, and I have a situation where this person I work with um, has experienced like injustice in her life, and she kind
yeah.
of has to reform her ideas and beliefs about the world because of the injustice she's experienced. So I would probably write that for like my thesis, um, I think I would probably say that uh, if you've experienced some kind of injustice that hasn't been rectified, then it's your responsibility to change the way you think about the world.
Okay, yeah. And then you use what like the way that she what experiences that she went to like support your argument.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then I would give like a few examples or descriptions. So, I would say that like for her, she was betrayed in a relationship and experienced like domestic violence with someone that she trusted and the father of her children. And that can be like quite your expectations and trust have been betrayed there. So that's like an example. Um,
Injustice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
and
So
like
mm,
yeah, so the main thing would be the injustice would be that that the consequences of that person's actions uh haven't been um what's the word? They haven't suffered any consequences from their actions, basically.
yeah. Okay. So there's no like an end goal or something that happened to him. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Wait,
Um,
so how would you go on with that? Would you like talk about like um what justice is at first and then talk about how injustice plays the role? Or would you like go and like like if in the introduction would you like to say like oh there's injustice and this is what injustice is? Or would you like talk about what justice is and then
I I
explain the
I,
difference
I
between those
don't
two?
I do like defining like the terms, but I think it's kind of a cop out because of how kind of easy it is in a way. Like, and it's like just if I say justice, you know what justice is. Like, you don't really have to define it. I don't think. I think that's kind of just you're filling the space with unnecessary words. I do like doing it, especially if the idea is centered around a sort of niche understanding of what justice might be. But I'm not necessarily talking about that right now. So I'd probably just say, I'd probably say like, hmm, justice is a nice idea, but um, uh, but sometimes it's not available for everyone, or just something simple like that that kind of introduces that you know it's a um,
Yeah, that makes sense now.
yeah,
That's cool. Yeah. So that way, like you're talking more, um, like it's more engaging and more like a reflection than like a statement sort of thing.
yeah. Mm.
Mm.
And I don't like do you like there's task A and task B, right?
Yeah.
And task A is meant to be, I might have these backwards or whatever, but task A is meant to be like more argumentative, right? And then task B is more reflective. Is that right?
Yeah.
Um, so my understanding of that though is that it's the prompts that warrant like reflection or argumentation, right? Not actually the task itself. Is that right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wait, so what do you mean the prompt
So
determines
so
if
like
you're?
so say like the first essay topic in the exam that you'll do, like task A, say, are they
Yeah.
labeled task A and task B? Do you know?
Yeah, they are.
And
The
do
like
they
the first.
and in
Hmm.
the in like the stem or in the part where it asks you to write the essay, does it say like write an argumentative essay, or like it doesn't
No,
say
it
that,
doesn't.
right?
No, it doesn't say that. It just says it's task A.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that it actually like this is just my opinion. I don't think it actually matters whether you write an argumentative or reflective essay as long as it's in line with how what the quotes are and what the topic is. So like for example, this topic is justice. I think that like kind of leads itself to both, like argumentative and reflective in a way. So
Yeah.
so I don't know, like you could argue a point and also be reflective, and I don't think it would really matter.
There like nah, there isn't a particular style of writing that wants you to like write, but like some people even write poems and stuff. So, but I feel
Yeah.
like even in a argumentative essay, you can sort of be a bit reflective as well. So like when you support your argument, you can talk about a personal reflection to support it,
Mm.
while then also stating like a historical or like a economical or something as well.
Yeah. I think
Sort of thing.
another good thing to have as well is like a counter argument for this. So like this would be hard for me. Like I would kind of have to think about this for a little bit, how I'm gonna counter argue like um I even forget what my thesis was already, but uh oh yeah, that's right, I remember. Um yeah, I guess it's
Do
difficult.
you do you usually like when you do counter argument, do you like reaffirm like your argument? So like you say that this is true, but then even though this is true, it doesn't quite stop the fact of this happening. It's like reaffirming your actual main idea
Mm.
after you writing a counter argument. Do you do that as well?
I don't really have a
Sort of.
concrete a concrete consistent thing that I do with this. So I couldn't tell you, but I think the strongest thing to do would be to give this like the most solid counter argument you can give, and then relate that back to the two body paragraphs that you have for your thing, or just yeah, some like I think leaving it open ended kind of makes you sit on the fence a little bit. So I think my perspective is that it would be good to um
Think it back.
not
Yeah.
straw yeah not straw man the counter argument, but also um make sure it's like it's situated within your first two arguments or first argument or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes like I see quotes and I like I have no experience or like something can't like I might have an experience but something doesn't come to mind. So I just get stuck and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna write about? And then I just yap.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you want to do another one? And do you want to instead maybe instead of writing it out, do you want to like tell me what like your thesis or whatever would be?
Yeah, do that.
Um, nice.
I'll tell you my thesis what for justice was.
Okay, yeah.
Um, for justice, I think I talked about like social. I was talking about between like socialism and capitalism, and I was linking that back to the the amount of like freedom and justice. Because I think freedom is also not exactly justice, but it also plays a big role in justice. And using the quotes, it was like about good and bad, and your act just determines the other act, sort of thing. So that's a bit of freedom as well. So I was going to link back to like how um, different states of the government and like different like industries of the government or like capitalism, economic states can link to particular freedoms or like even like seclude um, like your acts and stuff or like reject your acts. So that was my thesis. I didn't have a proper counter argument for that though. I was still thinking about that. Um,
Just
I think my
a piece of advice, but take it with a grain of salt, right? When I think I do this as well, when you write stuff, it might seem clear to you because you're the one with the idea, but like you have like I think it's important to make the links between things obvious because like I was kind of I know you were just saying it like as a brief overview and you probably clear it out in the writing, but like the links between freedom and justice is kind of I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. And then as you write, that can get more and more convoluted and complicated. And I've done that before where I think something is something else, and I don't actually define it how it is that in the thing, and then I just get all jumbled up. If that makes
yeah,
sense.
okay, yeah, that does. So like you're trying to link two arguments, but instead is floating and more disparities between each other.
Yeah, yeah, you want to make it really obvious how, like, that's why I think it's really good to write simply, but then, um, not like the idea can be complex, but the way you have to write about it has to be real simple for the other person to understand. Because in your head, you know what you're talking about, but the other person doesn't have those like those schemas and constructs that you have linking other things to each other.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good feedback. Okay.
And it also, like you said, you couldn't come up with a counter argument, or you were still thinking of a counter argument. I think when you make it simple and you can connect the ideas relatively like step by step, straightforwardly, it makes the counter argument a bit easier because you know exactly what you're talking about, and there's no like long steps um, in between linking each idea.
Yeah, yeah, I guess, yeah. And then you make that relation between the counter argument and your main argument quicker as well. There's no need to like go a big circle around it or anything.
Mm.
Mm. Do you have another prompt or
Have another what? Sorry, prompt.
like a prompt? Yeah.
Alright, we'll do this one. I'm not sure why it's all whack like this, but yeah, yeah, it's all weird. Um, can you see that?
I can see it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's weird. It's weird how it's like that. Hey, let me see if I can refresh.
yeah.
There we go.
Or just a different prompt, is it?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's truth, right? Yeah.
Any ideas?
Off the back, I just get like it's the truthfulness is always a simple way to go, and doubt and stuff would always not be correct. Or would
What did you say? The truth? What did you say? The
the
truthfulness?
the truthness,
Oh, the
the
truth.
truthfulness, yeah. It's always the way to go and simple to go towards the right path.
Okay.
But as gossips or
So like, would you say truth is always the right thing?
yeah, well, yeah.
Right thing to do?
Hmm.
The right thing to do. Okay.
What are you thinking about?
I had something really niche that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I'm not sure if it would land. I was gonna maybe the first thing that came to mind was this idea uh called the vital ego, and it's where 50% of what you do is true and 50% is bullshit, basically. So you see it with in like emotional states like indignation or um like what's that group of people who like women hate and what are they called? I forget what they're called, but it's
Uh, like Andrew Tate,
like what?
Andrew Tate, say
Yeah. Those like
okay,
red pillars and shit like that. Those that crew.
I
Um,
forgot the names. Yeah.
yeah. So like you see it with them. So they're like something that has happened to them or something that they've experienced. Usually it's involved in like social media and like over some sort of tech. Um, to do with like women in the culture. They espouse these like beliefs, and the reason they're so prolific and like they draw a lot of attention is because they're actually 50% true. Um, but then the
Oh,
other 50%, like 50% cap, basically um, creates this divide of people. So that's kind of the topic that I wanted to talk about. I think to turn that into a thesis, I would probably say that um, that's uh, what would I say? Um, something like beware of half the truths or something like that.
even you can sort of go towards topic three, where gossip is usually
Oh, hang on, I'm just
one
burning
thing.
eggs. I've got to go turn my eggs off.
Truth is fairly pure.
That's so crazy. I started boiling eggs like probably an hour and 45 minutes ago, and I forgot they were on, and they just bursted all in my kitchen. Oh,
Or you boil it when it's cooked. Yeah,
that's
you
so
can't even smell it because yeah.
that's so cool. I just started smelling it then because all the water had evaporated. Oh, that's cooked. Um, like, it literally is cooked. What were you saying?
Um, I was saying with your idea of men being half egos, you can that's half true and half falsehood. you can sort of link that towards like how you know the truth because you can't always trust everybody then because you know that other person is either telling half the truth or half a falsehood. So you could be like, truth is only you can know the truth if it's coming from you. Like if you know like the answers that you say or like the thoughts that you have, you know that they're true because it's what your inner thoughts are and you believe in yourself. But you can't necessarily believe in other people. If that
Yeah.
sort of makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think what the problem with this specific thing that I'm talking about though is that the people who have this little vital ego thing going on, the trouble is they don't actually know that that's 50% true and 50% false. So
Oh, it's just
it's that
something that happens. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
because what happens is your emotions and feelings override your ability to discern the truth of what you're saying or thinking or feeling.
Oh, I get it, yeah. Yeah.
So that yeah, that's why it's scary because you don't even know you're talking shit.
You can sort of like counter argument number five, and the way they say is that the reason I talk to myself is because I'm the one whose answer I accept. You can be like you can go against that topic, sort of.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
like
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, that's why sometimes it's actually really good to draw out individual quotes as well as get the overall topic.
yeah, for sure. But what would your counter argument be if that's your topic? Like what would you go against?
Um, what would I say? I would probably say that. Hmm, what was my thesis? My thesis was that. Uh, I can't even remember. What did I say? Beware of yeah. What did I say? Beware of half truths. Um, I would say that probably even half truths are informative in some way. Because there is an essence of truth in there. Um, and so while maybe you have to be aware that that's what's going on, you shouldn't neglect that whatever that is, that vital ego.
Oh yeah, yeah, that fits well as well. So like,
So I guess
even
it's not
though
necessarily a counter argument. It's more like fine tuning of what the actual argument is. Um,
it's going more in detail on
ye
that other
yeah,
half of that falsehood sort of thing, yeah.
it's sort of clarified. I think not necessarily countered, but I still think that's fine. I guess maybe not.
I mean, the it's not a pure counter to the argument or the thesis, but it is a sort of a counter towards uh, the prompt itself, though.
Mm.
So would that still be considered as a counter argument?
I don't.
I guess not.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Yeah, I
think I
guess
think
not.
I think I would have to say. I think probably the strongest counter argument would probably be that anything that as an individual, like you're thinking and feeling and believe, is completely true to you because you're thinking it and believing it and feeling it. Um,
Mm.
and so the concept of like this half true, half false hood doesn't really exist. Um, so I guess that would be probably be the strongest argument, and then I could maybe wrap it up if I wanted to link it back and um, not be like on the fence. I could probably say that um, the because of like culture and how we're like social people, you have to take into account other people as well, so they have a truth as well, and so that's why it's 50% false, 50% true.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Mm. I guess yeah.
Have you done practice timed essays
Uh,
yet?
not recently, no. I've done it before, but I haven't really done. This is my first one in section two
Okay.
during the sitting. I didn't. I was usually doing section 1 for a few weeks. Now I did a bit of section 3 a couple of days ago. Now I started section 2 a bit. I was just delaying it because I hate it that much. But
Section
I guess I
two.
gotta. Yeah, it's probably my worst out of all three.
Yeah, I did terribly in section three, so I just spent like so much time going through a math textbook, and it was so boring.
Yeah, fair enough. What did you do maths in high school?
No, no, I didn't
Oh,
do
oh yeah,
anything. I slept throughout my high school experience. So
it's okay, fair.
yeah, yeah,
No, I feel like because of my high school, it helped me a fair bit with section 3. It's most like a recap, like thinking wise.
that's nice.
But
That's good. Do you want to do one more?
yeah,
Same one. Medication.
I think
Yeah,
the
it's the
same.
same one.
Yeah, just get another one.
Why is it doing that?
Okay, this is the shade. Okay, guess
Nature.
nature. Yeah,
Um, See, like I feel this topic is just lends itself to a more reflective writing style than the
yeah,
other ones.
yeah. For sure. But you can't really talk about an argumentative in this sort of thing.
Yeah, you probably could maybe in terms of like climate change or like the denaturalization of like urban spaces or whatever. But I mean, it's just not. I guess it'd be harder to do that.
Yeah. Um. Well, based off what I read, I think my thesis will just be like just spending time in nature. So like nature can teach us lessons or like can give us yeah nature can just teach us lessons that we don't learn when we're that we don't learn in books or we don't learn through society or like urban life. I'll probably
Okay,
go towards that sort of thing. Even like a bit of reflection, I guess you can talk about how nature makes us reflect our own actions and stuff.
probably like simply you'd probably say like nature is a teacher.
Yeah,
Teacher. Okay.
but
Um,
then obviously you'll talk about different forms of teaching and like reflection and like
yeah. So
what actions to do.
give me like an example.
So like an example would be like uh it's the teacher as in it will teach you how to take accountability of your actions or like so first it gives you a sense of peace and then it will give you accountability and make you think about what actions you committed or like what sins you committed even so you can basically talk more about if you're on accountability and sins. I think if you go with sins it's a bit off topic in
Mm.
this case
Yeah, I think
so
I think language is an important component. Like you have to use. I think they express. What's the? I think they mark you on the quality of your ideas, and then I think there's some other thing as well that's to do with communication, like using the right language for the topic. Um, so I think accountability is good. I'm not sure about sin.
yeah
Accountability. So
okay
what would be like the concrete example though? Because if you said accountability, like I can think of a few ideas, but if you said accountability is an example of nature being a teacher, it's still a bit abstract. So what would be like the concrete example?
oh probably like a personal example where I feel like when I go for a walk in nature or something, I'll just reflect back on my thoughts and just account like make myself accountable for what I've done, or like yeah. So a personal example is what I would use.
Okay, so like that. So like a walk in nature causes reflection and behavioral change.
Yeah. Yep.
And then what would be a counter? Not to that specifically, but just the idea as nature as a teacher.
Um,
Well, I suppose, do you even want a counter? Because it seems a bit more reflective. Yeah, I don't even know. Um,
I usually have a related. It's not usually counter. It's more like because you talk about yourself, right? You talk about the impacts to others and yourself,
yeah, there's a good reflective. Sorry. Go ahead. I keep interrupting.
and then I usually have like in my styles two essays. I usually have like my first paragraph will be like impacts on others and reflection, but then my second paragraph would usually be like what how does it relate to society or how does it relate to like a historical example or something. And so I usually put like a rebuttal in there, but it's not really a counter though.
Yeah, so there's a good. I did it in uni a while ago, but I can't actually remember what it was. It's the reflective writing template that I think could be good potentially. It's like, if I can remember it, what is it? So you uh have it like you describe a situation, you explain how it like impacted you, made you feel or something, and then what you would have done differently or something, and then how in the future it's gonna like change the way you think or behave. I forget what
Oh
it's
yeah.
called. It's pretty good.
There's a really similar one to that. There was this girl on YouTube and she was giving us a template and like going through it. It's basically like in the first paragraph you talk about like how you reflect from that attitude and how it's making you grow personally, and then how does that growth affect others as well.
Yeah,
And then you'll show like reflective um traits, so like how has your empathy increased or like how have you matured, is your awareness more like have you like that sort of stuff. And then like they usually go off like a core memory, like a memory in your life sort of thing. So you have like one key memory, like you talked about, you have one key thought, for example, and then you talk about that and then use that to compare to other stuff.
yeah. So I think so instead of doing like this structure, you'd probably go so you'd come up with your so instead of like a thesis or a contention, you'd come up with like a situation. So nature as a teacher can be a situation, and then you'd give the description of the situation, and that would be like you're walking in nature. And then I think you'd probably describe it in a bit more like depth because it's reflective. And then
Yeah. So this stuff here with the walk in the nature and reflection change it. That'll probably be like an anecdote. So I'll start off with
yeah,
an
yeah,
anecdote, and then I'll break it down. Then I'll talk about what a teacher is and how that affected me personally and how that affects people around me. And I'll talk about how this stuff that I changed, how I've matured enough now that affects how that relates to society or how society can benefit from this
yeah,
as well.
yeah. That sounds
So
pretty good.
good old link. How do you usually go about these?
Um, I haven't really like distinguished between reflective and argumentative, like, because I haven't practiced these essays much. But yeah, so I don't really distinguish. So I've just been going about it like I just pretty much write a standard argumentative essay most of the time if I can come up with a topic. But I would, yeah, now like looking at this, I would probably change the style a little bit to having a topic like a situation that I want to describe. And then I um would yeah, maybe what what would I do? So let me think of an actual example. I think I like to introduce a bit of humor into these where I can, if possible, because it's just a bit more, it's fun for me, and I would hope that it would be a bit of entertainment for the person reading it, and then they would appreciate that. So I might do my topic like something like nature um, is sort of over appreciated in a way, and that people usually the perspective of a lot of people is that it's like healthy and beneficial to be in nature, like going camping and hiking and all these things. But an experience I had was that maybe I went camping and my phone ran out of battery and I was bored the whole time or something like that. So it's
Oh,
like it's not like deep or anything. It's not really like it's pretty like superficial, and the main purpose is for it to be like kind of humorous as well. So I think I like that style of going about it.
yes, that's good. Would you have the humor like when you explain the situation? That's probably where the humor comes from, and then you can like when you dive deep into it, then you can sort of like draw more like concrete examples and stuff.
Yeah, so I think the humor would come from the the like the usually like I feel like um it's a like a cultural norm or something that's being betrayed. So the cultural norm would be that nature is there's a term for it. Like what's the do you know the term where you're it's not naturalistic, but it's like you kind of worship nature, and so like anything with like the word chemical in it or like artificial light or shit like that, people like poo poo it, and that's kind of become like a sort of cultural norm or like an ethos where people like to like to worship nature, and so I'm just kind of running. I don't really care about that. I think that's why it's funny.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's like deep level of that's a deep idea, but the way you're portraying it is simple as well.
Mm.
So which is good as well.
And
That's good.
hopefully there'll be like there's a bit of like truth in it as well, because actually the way I like the way I would write about it would be actually the way I feel.
Mm. Yeah, I think that the way you talk about it when with that idea, and I think the reader would be able to pick up on that as well.
Mm.
That's good. So you talk about an anecdote for this one. Would it be just like you in the nature, you lost your phone, um, now you've got nothing to do, and then you'll go on from there. So that'd be like a starting sentence for like to begin the essay.
Yeah, I can't actually think of an exact example of that, but yeah, it'd probably be.
Something along the
I'm
lines.
hesitant to so like I'm not sure how it's like if it's the marks are changed or anything like that if you say stuff that's kind of a bit dodgy. So like a real example would be like I went camping recently and I took a lot of mushrooms, like magic mushrooms. And if I wrote about that, I'm not sure if that's like okay. You know what I mean? Like that would be a real example, but
Isn't that
it's
still just reflection of you? So isn't that still okay? I guess.
yeah, I guess, but you do have to take into account that people who are marking this are real people and are most likely going to be, um, I guess, in a cultural and social setting that where those kind of things aren't necessarily looked upon with grace. I don't think.
Yeah, I
I,
agree.
I I always really like to think about the person marking this is a real human being and has real feelings and thoughts about what you're writing. And so when they get an essay they've read for the 50th time, it's actually that affects them. They might not say it does, but it obviously does.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess yeah. So probably
So
because
it could actually work, but it could also backfire.
yeah, true. Because I think majority of the students that go with a reflective piece will probably start with like a normal anecdote with whatever their life is going on about. So it's probably repetitive for the readers just to read and read. So like if you have something different, then I guess you would stand out as well.
Mm. Yeah, a bit of I think it's well, I don't know if it's a skill, but it's like it's a it's a something to like have a bit of creativity about these because you know other people are going to be writing similar things. But so
Yeah. No, for sure.
yes.
Just okay. Would you say you're more stronger in like reflective or like these sort of prompts, or would you be more stronger with like the justice prompt, or say like
I
more
really
argumentative style
yeah,
prompts?
I can't stand I can't stand like the prompt can't stand strong, but like justice is pretty hard for me. Like nature, like this is nature's hard for me. Um, I don't know. Like sometimes I get a prompt and I go, I have an idea straight away, and some I get a prompt and I go, I don't even know what to do with this. I don't even know what this word means really.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
but
Like I feel like with nature and stuff, like this sort of stuff, like reflective stuff, I feel more at ease than compared to like yeah, justice. I feel harder because like I didn't. It takes me a while to get to an idea that I can link to the prompts and have a good strong counter arguments and like a thesis and everything. But like these sort of stuff, I guess if there's something that links to my personal life or something, then that's really easy for me to like portray it. But then if there's no link between my life or like a personal reflection, then it still takes more time to like think about it.
yeah, I would almost say that I think it would be better to not change the idea, not change the topic or the quotes, but so like if you were given just like justice as a topic, it's really hard to find an example. Like it might be really hard to find an example of that in your own life. So like you could almost dumb it down a little bit so that it does make sense for you personally, I reckon. Um like
Mm.
instead of justice, it could be like the time that you um the time that you didn't get invited to a party that you thought the people were your friends or something like that. Like it's not like this big cultural like social idea. It's kind of just like a relational idea that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
And like
Yeah, like
I don't keep up with the news or like anything like that really. So it's like I can't write about like political situations or like wars or anything like that. And
yeah, so like I was trying to do some research for the last setting though, just to get some ideas for political stuff, just in case it does pull up, like for democracy and stuff, or like politics.
I would be cooked if if that was a topic on democracy. I would be absolutely fried.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at those as well. That's why I had to like do my own research for those, get some proper examples just in case they do pull up. I'll have at least something to like lean upon on. I'll probably do that this time as well. Yeah, I'm looking at the rubric. It does, yeah, like you said, well selected vocabulary and varied sentence structure is what they look for in language.
It says varied sentence structure, does it?
Yeah, varied
That's
sentence structure.
that's weird. That's a weird criteria. Varied. I don't even know what that means really. Varied sentence structure. So yeah, what I wonder what that means. Like
Such a, I just thought it was like more like a yeah, like a diverse, but like how do you have a diverse sentence structure?
yeah, maybe like I'm not sure if it means grammatically or like semantically or that's yeah that's a weird criteria. Maybe it
But
just
yeah, well selected vocabulary is the main part
yeah
as well though.
okay
So yeah. Do you want to do another one?
yeah sure.
Travel, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure way. There's another way to do this as well, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if this is right or wrong or neither, but like you can actually, instead of just getting the topic, you can get the sort of topic or idea from each quote. Um so like I have found out that there ain't no sure way to find out whether you like people or hate them um than to travel with them. Instead of like just travel, it would be like the idea of relationships in different environmental contexts or just contexts in general. And that could prompt different ideas for you.
Oh, you mean like looking for the topics in each particular prompt?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
So like yeah,
Then,
so the first one would be relationships in different contexts. The
mm,
second one, not all those who wander are lost, um could be like the uh the desire to explore. Um, so they all have a link to travel, but the topic itself isn't travel. It's like it's a bit more it's a more complex idea.
do you want to list them down? Like, we can go. We can talk about like what topic one is and what topic two
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
what
sure.
topic
So
three is.
so what do you think topic three would be?
Like topic three.
Yeah, so
Okay. I'm not the same. Haven't seen the moon shine. Um, I would say maturity can also be one for topic three.
you have an interesting way of I'm not you have an interesting way of linking ideas. So like that that's a really I think anyway, it's a really unique topic to draw out of that. Like
From
like an
from three.
if you got 100 people, I'm not sure if one of them would say maturity. I'm
Oh,
not saying you're
you
wrong.
reckon?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think that
It's
would be
just
the case.
different. Yeah.
So like
What do you get?
I'm not the same having seen the moonshine on the other side of the world. Um change. So like
Okay.
I
Mm.
think change is maturity is so if you would like in a hierarchy of uh what would you say? A hierarchy of like uh analytical perspectives of that topic, it would be like um I think maturity would come after change. Does that make sense? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I think.
Yeah, cause yeah, I guess so. Cause I'm thinking maturity in a sense of like a positive tone. So like, while change is more like it can either be a good way or
Hmm.
a bad way, which topic three itself doesn't really say in what sort of context. So yeah, I can agree with
Yeah.
change.
What would be four?
If you don't understand what For's talking about.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I travel light, but not at the same speed. Oh, yeah, I get it. I think it's
Wait,
saying
what do you get?
I think it's saying I travel light, so light has two meanings, light and light, but not at the same speed as light.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think. Jared gets days I wake me up
But
whenever
that's some like crazy wording there.
I think that I could be completely wrong. Travel light, but not at the same speed. Or it could mean I travel light, and that when you travel light, you're expected to move quite quickly. Um, but this guy doesn't move fast. He travels light, but moves quite slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's a good way to deconstruct it, I guess. Yeah. So
so
like
yeah, what would be the idea?
so he travels light but not his main speed. Um, effectiveness, sort of. I'm not for sure. Would you agree with that or no? Did you like
Uh,
he travels slow to get more experience or like
so there's still I don't think there's a problem with this, but I still think there's a positive and or negative connotation with your ideas. That's it. It's still that it could be the case, but I think also it's kind of saying the idea is that um the idea is that uh what I'm getting is that this person doesn't need much, doesn't require anything, um, and likes to enjoy um, uh, likes to enjoy what's the word like
Like at a steady pace.
yeah steady pace. So like those two ideas are connected, right? Like not needing much and also just like moving slowly through the world, like um,
Yeah.
not really giving a fuck.
What would you be like your? Well, that could probably be your thesis, but then
Mm.
what would
So
you be your
so
topic?
the idea, yeah, it would be uh, can't think of the word. It's not whimsy and it's not like it's kind of like lackadaisical, but not really. Um, it's like there's definitely a word for it. Um, this is where my vocabulary fails me.
I mean, I'm trying to think as well. But it's, I still don't understand the topic itself to actually get a
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
word out.
Speed. What's the word? Um, this isn't what I want to say, but it's the best thing that comes to mind is passerby. Like, do you know those people who just travel and don't like have any fixed location or anything like that? Um,
Oh yeah.
that's kind of what I'm getting. Like a traveler. Let's go traveler. Getting traveler. Like the archetype of a traveler. That's what I'm getting.
He's more like a traveler with a different sort of mindset. He wouldn't have the same mindset as like a traveler going from one place. I need to go to this place. So just like a one-way direct flight or one-way direct travel.
That's
It's more like he's exploring as he's going through.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, do you know when people travel to like when you're on holiday, you're um the idea well, anyway for me the idea is to have a break from continually like having an aim and a purpose all the time, like going to work and doing stuff. But when you actually travel, it's like you got a full itinerary, you're going to see things and you're going to do things and have fun and all that. But this person seems like they're just traveling for the sake of traveling. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know if I don't even know if this person's traveling, but yeah, anyway. So like purpose,
I mean,
what is
it depends on the way how you think about the problem. It doesn't really have to be correct or wrong, as long as you can support what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I think there is a correctness in the sense that what I'm trying to do is get um so like if there was 100 people getting the the topic, I want to kind of get what the majority would say because then it's more relatable.
But wouldn't that put you at the risk of just writing the same thing as what they're saying
If you yeah
and not
if
being
you
unique enough?
yeah sure if you write about so I don't think the uniqueness comes from the idea from the prompt. It comes from your idea or how you go about um tackling the prompt.
So you're saying the idea could sort of be the same, but then the way you talk about the idea or the prompt determines the uniqueness
Yeah, because
of your writing.
that's your idea, right? So I think you actually want the topic to be as the same and relatable as possible, and then what you want to be unique, or valuable or useful is your perspective, like your individual perspective of the idea that everyone agrees is the idea.
Yeah, yeah, that's more concrete. Yeah, I can definitely. Uh, that's just number five.
Yep.
the initial thing that I get from reading that is um like they just want to travel for the sake of traveling, but then because they just love to travel.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
get just reading from that.
I'm pretty happy with that. I love of traveling. Um,
But then would there be like a one word to talk about how they're sort of?
um, I don't
Would you
think
say
it.
passionate?
No, I think you're trying to force the. I think multiple words is like love of traveling. I think is or enjoying traveling. I think is actually is completely fine. Like you, I don't think you need to have one word for it. Um,
Hmm.
because it's a long quote as well, so it's going to be like multiple ideas that might need a few words. Um, I think like
Yeah.
you could also do like it's not so much to do with traveling, but like what um you could think of like what I think about is what someone like who loves traveling so much and like I think of like the relinquishing of responsibility because when you travel, have you met anyone who lives in Bali, like who has spent like a healthy stint in Bali or like Indonesia or whatever? A lot of the I don't know if you have, but like a lot of those people who spend months over in like Indonesia and stuff don't really have much responsibility over there, and that's why they like it. So that's quite like a unique thing, and I don't think a lot of people would get that from that quote, but that's kind of what I'm getting.
So yeah, I guess like you learn stuff. Yeah.
So
It's
like
like
relinquishing of
response.
responsibility and also like the desire um to like be in new situations and like unexperienced experience like unexperienced things as well.
Would you talk about like when we talk about travel? Do you think of more like learning new things, or would you be like going to the path of like exploring new things, sort of, or would they both link between? Like if you do talk
Uh,
about responsibilities and stuff, I feel like that's a little more towards the side of like they're going to travel to learn a skill or like
well, I said relinquishing, so like not wanting responsibility.
oh okay, so like at ease and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
okay,
if you're in a
yeah,
fixed
that makes
location,
sense.
right, usually, you have rent that's due every week, or you have a mortgage that's due, and you have a job and all that. But when you're traveling, you don't really have any of that. You don't really, you have when you're like in the same environment, you have relationships that are reciprocal and all that. But when you're traveling, you can say fuck you, I'm out of here, like whenever really. So I
Yeah,
don't think,
no, that makes more sense. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that. And you can counter argument can also be like even while you do travel, you should still have a sense of responsibility of like where you're going or like if you have the right amount of need and stuff. I guess
yeah, yeah, for sure.
because since your argument, since your thesis is pretty simple of like lack of responsibility or like ease of um mindset or something, you can link that really easily to a counter argument,
Yeah, yeah, and
which is good.
you could also like expand the idea as well and say if it's like reflective or whatever, and you want to elaborate, you could say that you've like the responsibility then falls on the other people around you, um, because
Yeah,
you're not looking after anyone necessarily, so they're gonna have to look after you in a way.
no, I agree. That's good.
Cool. Uh, So that yeah. Anyway, that was just one way that I've been told to, or that told that I could do it if I didn't have any ideas for the broader topic. Like you look at the individual quotes, that could be helpful.
You should go towards this sort of pathway where you like look at. I usually like look at one or two individual quotes that I read them first, and then I feel like which one I can relate better with, or that I can talk more about, and I break that topic down into its subtopics, and then to its thesis, and then try to link between the two points and stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, cool.
I feel like that way you're not too broadly. It's like you don't run off topic and you like more in between and have a detail writing.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like you're trying to find the balance between um being like overly broad and then also having some like freedom to write what you want to write about as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You want to do a um,
Do you want to do what we did like just like this with the other prompts that we talked about?
yeah, sure. I feel like I've got this quote before.
So do you want to go one by one?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot we're doing that. Yep, yeah, yeah. You go.
Um, what do you think for number one?
A nation of sheep will be a government of wolves. I think that my idea is that people people will elect elect leader they need, not the leader they want. That's what I'm getting. Does that make sense, or do I have to explain that more?
I because what does beget mean in this context?
Beget a nation of sheep will beget a government of wolves.
Is that like they bring forth or they create a leader?
Yeah, that beget. They will, they will like, what does it mean? They will get like
I think
beget.
the literal meaning of beget is just offspring
Okay, yeah, yeah, that will bring about. There you go. Yeah, the nation of sheep will bring about a government of wolves.
of wolves. Doesn't wolves sound like something that hunts the sheep? So like, I don't know, what I'm feeling from this is more like they select the wrong leader that will oppress them, sort of thing.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm sort of.
yeah, I think I did need to explain this more. So what I'm thinking is that if you've got like, so there's more than one nation out there, right? And so in the context of like a global scale, if you've got a nation of sheep, you don't want a sheep to rule if there's other nations with wolves as leaders. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yep, yep, yep.
A good contemporary example at the moment is like if you look One Nation, Pauline Hanson is surging, could replace Albo.
That
Whilst it's not a a liberal sort of idea of government, he has a lot of radical philosophy. I think it's kind of the one we need now, given the rise of totalitarianism.
that's a good like example you could put in, yeah, for sure.
Still, yeah. How do we how do we come back? My problem with Task 8 is specifically is like how do we bring it back to our own ideas? Like, yeah, Pauline's bad, and like, what do we think as doctors?
Yeah, I
Um,
think yeah, it's really important to keep it concrete to you personally and not get too abstract for sure. At the moment,
Without
we're
making it to Task B.
yeah, at the moment we're going through. We can do that if you want. At the moment, we're going through each quote, and we're getting, instead of just like drawing on the broad topic of all the quotes, we're trying to get the idea from each quote. as like a little bit of like practice and prompt. So we'll go into like examples after if you want to do that.
Yeah, nice.
I forget what should I call you, by the way? Is it Adam? Asm?
It's as should be fine. That's what they
As?
usually call me.
How do I
Yeah.
say your name? Other bro.
Zushin,
Zushin. Az and Zushin. Cool. Um,
Yigan, Azam,
yes.
or Az.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget what you said as about the first one. You said that uh
Like how the sheep will bring a leader that would not that would oppress them, sort of thing.
yeah, okay. So um the is that if they don't take like responsibility or they don't elect their own leader? Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
Like also, too much tolerance leads to like sheep like pandering.
yep.
Hmm.
If they do not elect their own leader, and then you
I
said
think my score for section 2 like got
tolerance.
worse. So
What do you say? Tolerance. That was good. People with too much tolerance. People with much tolerance will be oppressed by their. Okay, cool. Two.
what difference does it make to the dead, the orphans and the homeless, whether the mad destruction is wrought under the name of totalitarianism or in the holy name of liberty or democracy?
Um, I get like
Flatlining on this one, to be honest. Uh, I think it's also saying like chaos is inevitable. Whether we oppress or unite, it's still the same result. And what's the importance of the how? Why we do things the way we do? Stringent protocols in medicine. This is where that can come in, maybe.
I don't think it's necessary to. I could be wrong, but I don't think you have to relate it back to medicine at all. I don't think that's. You can if you want. Um, I think it's free
Yeah,
reign, but I don't think you need to do that if you don't feel it necessary.
wherever you want to take it, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess as long as you put yourself into the writing is the most important thing. And yeah, you're not a doctor yet, so by no means bring it back to that.
well, I feel like leadership could also be a topic here. Like,
Yeah,
not in the sense of like leadership as being yeah. So like for some people, leadership doesn't really like the leader doesn't matter, but more like the outcomes do.
Okay. So like outcome orientated leadership.
Yeah, that's not yeah outcome and leadership.
Um, what's your what do you got? Zuchian? Zuchian?
sorry, what you said?
What do you want to what's your idea of the second quote? Like the if you had to sum up the whole idea of the
Oh
second
yeah,
quote.
faceless leader. And then I
Faceless.
put as an example like AI replaceability. Criteria for leadership.
That's pretty. Wait, hang on. AI
Isn't that
replaceability. How'd you get that from that? That's a wild jump.
I was kind of following off the back of Az's. Don't mind me calling you that. Yeah.
yeah,
Outcome,
that's good, that's good.
outcome. Well, the outcome orientated leadership.
Yeah, what if we know the outcome, why can't we automate the process?
Oh, okay. I sort of get that.
But then you look at like science as a whole.
But then
And
I
there's
feel
well stuff we don't know, but we know the outcomes. Anyway.
Okay, let's do three, and we'll come back for examples at the end if you want. Um, okay, three.
oh, politics.
Seems like trial and error would be the standout thing there.
How do you spell facade? Facade. Oh no.
With an A after the F. F for freight, A for apple, C,
Facade.
no,
Facade.
C,
Facade.
close. One letter missing.
Facade.
Fuck. Don't you have autocorrect, man?
Oh, facade. Fuck you. What is that right?
It sounds right.
That'll
But I
do.
can't lie, nothing's clicking right now. Politics is the art of looking for what does it even mean? Is the art of looking for trouble. I guess you want like finding it everywhere.
Yeah, the art of
That
I'm
looking
just
for
happens.
trouble.
imagining like a sheriff, like he's got 6 bullets and only like 3 opposition. I guess it's also talking about like politics is only a section of a wildly chaotic universe. Like
Mm.
there's only three political heads to the world right now. It's Trump, um, and then whatever country is relevant to you, and I don't know, Elon Musk. So it's already like pulling at the strings of power.
But what is the
So
aspect of
that comes under facade.
okay? But then what does the aspect of diagnosing it incorrectly mean with looking for trouble?
There's a bit of I think
Because
that
it's just so wide and perverse.
I think there's a bit of humor. Like this is obviously a hyperbole, and I think the person's wanting to be like humorous, so they kind of. I don't think this person is believe the person who said this quote or wrote this quote, um, is a fan of politics by the sounds of it. So I think there's a bit of sarcasm as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Um. Um.
Pointless as well. I feel like pointless.
Would falsehood sort of come as well?
Yeah, I think so. Falsehood's a bit like facade in a way. Falsehood. Oh, yeah, cool. 4.
You got to look at who also wrote it, don't you? Like Groucho Marx doesn't sound like that good a guy.
um, yeah, I think
Fair
he,
enough.
I think you can look at it here in Reddit as well. I think that adds to the depth of it.
Okay. Number 4. I guess you can have like looking back to the overall prompt of all of them was like oppression and stuff. So can we have like ignorance? It can lead to oppression, or like an ignorant leader can lead to oppression.
Same goes with tolerance.
Yeah.
It's the same side of the same coin, I would say.
Russian.
Russia. I got intellectualism over rationalism.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got. I'm happy with this.
Even democracy can go there as well. Like, I mean, like democracy is just in a separate thing. So you can talk about what democracy is with some aspect to ignorance or like oppression.
But then you can explore like the idea of like what is the difference between ignorance and tolerance? Because there's some things which we'll always be ignorant of outside of our professions. But then
Yeah.
there's something, and we need to learn to tolerate that. That's it. But then we can't tolerate willful ignorance, which is oppression.
Hmm.
Uh,
I think you can link that back to like the what an actual leader is supposed to be. So like,
yeah, true.
yeah. Okay.
Leadership qualities, ethos,
Not the penalties.
Nostradamus.
So this is, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit similar to point number 1. This one here.
Hmm. But this one's a little bit different in that it's interesting that I think there's a connotation that if you're if you're inclined not to participate in politics, you're automatically superior than those who are choosing to participate. Um,
While in number 1 was like you are inclined in politics and you're bringing a leader, and that leader is superior to you.
yeah,
So it'd be like an opposite sort of thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if that's like meant. I don't think that's really meant in the quote though. Like they've, I don't think that's the main idea. Um,
I just went with tolerance of misanthropy.
what's that? I don't. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'd have to type it out because I didn't even spell it.
No, no, like I don't know what misanthropy. misanthropy means.
I think it just means like randomness. Misanthropic adventure.
You're just throwing out words now. What is that? How does that link? What was the whole sentence again?
Oh no, I got it wrong. It's this deep distrust, hatred, or contempt for humankind. To hate man.
Where's it? Where's this? Where are you reading that?
Off Google.
Oh, misanthrope for the definition.
Avoids social interactions and expects the worst from people.
That's what misanthropic means.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe this number 5 is just a something we have to tolerate or ignore. And I don't know. I should.
Governs by I think that's the main idea for me is that like you're born into some sort of system, whether it be like sociocultural or political, that you kind of have to participate in, or otherwise it's going to influence your life.
Yeah, there's no non-participants in politics.
It sounds like it's a negative connotation, but not like it's a penalty. So like there has to be an effect or an impact on you.
Yeah, it's like politics is always got the coat of arms behind it of the country. There's certain like values, and like everyone's like you got to represent your values. So
Mm. So I
it's
guess a
hard
lot of,
to do that without. Yeah.
that sort of links to what Zeke said of the socio-cultural system, which
What did you
is
guys get for the travel
For the what?
travel?
The travel?
Yeah, I
I
wanted to.
oh this one.
Yeah, just kind of watching before.
No.
I think now is a good time to talk about like the World Cup, maybe like use that. Maybe your intro.
Oh yeah. Alright. So did you want to? Because we've finished that now. Do you want to do? Um, Sounds like you want to go through like examples or go into a bit more detail. Zitrian, do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. It doesn't look like you did as much on this one,
So
but we just.
yeah, we'll these were simpler quotes in a way. Um, so what's it? So the first one, I have found out that there ain't no sure way to find out whether you like people or hate them or travel with them. So I think for oh yeah, we didn't type them, but
I think we talked about it, we didn't
yeah
like
we
write it
talked.
down.
I think I did. I think I said relationships in different contexts. That one, and then two foster desire to explore
Guess you could use immigration.
migration for which one?
The first one
So,
and the second one. Quite broad encompassing themes like
Yeah,
through
that's pretty good.
history. Look at the exile of Moses and then he returned.
Uh, cool. Are you happy with that?
Travel is all about socialization, so yeah,
Yes.
one's good.
Yeah. Socialization. Yeah.
And it's accessible, I guess. Like you do like government.
I gotta dip now. Gotta go pick up my sister.
Okay. No worries.
But are you guys gonna keep on studying or
I've got work at 2:30. So what's the time now? I will have to dip off soon as well.
what? I'm tonight? Or like
I'll be
later
back.
tonight?
Oh, it depends how I feel. I'll be back at like 7:30, so maybe I'll be
Cool.
back later. I'm not too sure.
Just shoot a message in the Discord chat, and if you're there, I'll probably pull up. So,
All right, sounds good.
alright, see you guys.
See ya.
Last quote is probably written by that guy who he just wrote like the most successful book, I think.
Michael Palin.
I have to look it up, but like psychedelics of a
Oh, is that guy? Is it
then I don't know.
Michael Palin? Is that did he just write a book on like consciousness? Is that who that is?
I'm thinking of someone else.
No.
He's just like a presenter who did like
Oh, I don't know.
travel.
Yeah, I don't know this guy.
He's basically Anthony Bourdain. Do you know him?
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's literally him.
Um. I've got like 5, 10 more minutes. Do you want to do something or
Yeah, throw up Jim's GAMSAT, bro. If I
Jim
can get it up.
Jim's GAMSAT? What do you want to do on Jim's GAMSAT?
I don't know, random stem.
Oh,
But,
like the practice question.
yep. I usually get them wrong, which is far.
Some of them are really, really hard. Like I'm not sure if they're the best. Jim's GAMSAT. Do I have it? Jim's GAMSAT.
I got it up. Just watch my screen.
I do have it up now if you want to look, but I can look at yours as well.
I don't even know how to get a load of question. How about this one?
Hang on, I got a full screen here.
All right, you load one question, I'll load one question, and that way we have two.
That's alright. Alright, let's do this one. What is the correct ranking of the compounds by acidity? Okay.
Acidity, eh?
So what I usually do is I'm 99% sure I'm not going to get this question right, but I know the process. I think I do. I hope I do. I try and redefine the question to look for something specifically in the stem, so I'm not just kind of wandering around aimlessly. So, um, what is the correct ranking of the compounds by acidity? So,
The first
um,
thing I did with this question was like immediately I knew it like because of basic chemistry. I did chemistry, and I saw the categories of like, and I knew the categories were going to come into play with how we rank things by acidity,
what do you mean by what categories are you talking about?
like sp3 hybridized, sp2 hybridized, or sp hybridized.
Okay.
And I just wanted to verify what those meant. So I looked at the little like three sentences afterwards, and it says like how sp hybridized arrange their two hybrids at approximately 180 degrees. sp2 have an example here of like two bonds, like a double bond, and sp3 have an example of like methane would be one. So then we got ethylene, ethene, ethane, which is in the rankings as well. At that point, I wanted to be like, chill out. I need to chill because I ended up getting it wrong.
Yeah, okay, so I was lost from the very beginning just because I don't know chemistry. So what I try and do is look for something that like this is just you obviously know more than me, so this is where I'm at is I go uh compounds by acidity. So I don't really know what acidity means. I know kind of a little bit. I don't know
I think the
much.
first thing you want to think about is like the primary difference between these three is the addition of a bond between the carbons. So once you look at that, be like, okay, how does like one extra bond between a carbon influence acidity? Does it make it more acidic or less acidic? And
Right,
what is acidity?
right, but I don't know that, right? So I have to work around not knowing that. Um, So like I kind of have to, if it's in the stem, then I have to find it in the stem and link it back to the question. But
Well,
I guess
acidity
my
is just like the ability to donate H, right?
I don't know. Is it
To,
you tell? I don't know.
to
You tell me.
ionize or to have lower pH.
Okay. So yeah, that's my extent of acidity is that I know the lower the pH, the more acidic, and the higher the pH, the more basic it is. That's pretty much my
Yeah,
extent.
true. So looking at the answers now, like which one would you be more leaning towards? The triple bonded one being more acidic, or the single bonded one being more acidic? So like you could also change it out and think like, I guess, methane versus like ethene versus ethine, if that helps you think about it. Because I don't think the addition of like a single methyl group is influencing the acidity. I mean, you're putting another methyl group, whilst this is outside the question, just putting another methyl group, you're only adding 3 more hydrogens, which have equal chance to like donate off that. Yeah, whatever. Which one are you
Whatever.
thinking?
I honestly couldn't, no idea. Like I literally couldn't tell you. Just because I don't know what like I would have to spend probably 3 hours on this question.
There's a key sentence here saying angular differences determine molecular shape, okay, which influence electron density and how the CH bonds engage with surroundings. So that's a clue, like, I guess, wouldn't it be?
Silly tuning highlight.
CH bond engaging. That's the only way, like, the donator's H to have any acidity.
So when I see a massive long stem like this, I try to ignore it as much as possible. Um, because you can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So I just kind of I work my way from the top down. So like I'll look at the question and try and find something that I need to know to answer the question. So like uh by acidity. So I need to know something about how I need to know what the acidity of ethane for A, for ethane, what ethene and ethine are. And so I guess that would be my first step is how can I determine the acidity of ethane? So that's kind of what I would look for. And then most likely I'm not going to find that in the stem somewhere. So I've got to figure out the next step, which would be how can I like um how can I figure out uh the acidity of ethane not being in the stem. So like there's probably another step in here somewhere. So like I'm trying to instead of just like scanning the stem for answers without having a question of my own in mind, I
And
don't find
then you
that
get
very
to the
valuable.
last sentence and it says, like, sp bond hybridizations affect how the molecule interacts with its environment. So that's what you would have to read to know, like, these categories are important to determining the acidity. And then from there, you go back one sentence and it says, like, the greater the S character, the tighter the electrons are. And don't hydrogen atoms in like molecules simply act like electrons? Because the point of having electrons, like if you look at oxygen, it has like so many electrons around it, which is why it can form like alcohols. And like another example, if you look at like fluoride that has like multiple bonding pairs on, or if you look at like an amino acid, it has heaps of sulfur on it and it has like tons of SHs, and because it has those electrons, which so an increase in electrons and electronegativity would mean it wants to hold on to the electrons rather than give them away to hydrogen.
I I've listened um to
Because a CH bond is essentially a sharing of electrons between two elements.
I've listened to James, the guy from James GAMSAT, talk about this a little bit,
What?
and
I can't believe his name's James. It's him.
and I feel like he talks a little bit about how having a background knowledge of stuff can actually inhibit your answering the question. And like I don't know how to answer this question
Yeah, because
honestly.
you're wrangling like multiple concepts from different timelines almost.
Yeah, so I think that this is just my opinion. A better approach is to start with redefining the question in a way that's gonna give you the most bang for your buck. So like, and then work from there instead of maybe like instead of reading the whole stem and trying to get information from there and that.
Yeah, so I reckon if we can just like come to the general conclusion on whether increasing the electronegativity would lead to more acidity, and even further we can reduce that to whether holding on to electrons helps with donating electrons, because acidity is just donation of a hydrogen, and whether the holding on of, yeah, so there's a lot of different
But
concepts.
does that help answer the question?
Yeah,
Knowing
it
that.
would, but you have to work out how the configuration of the electrons, the tightness of the configuration. What does that mean? You have to work out what that means. Which I think it means that's then the second step. If you look at sp bonds bond, the degree of tightness is the most. It's 180 degrees. It's almost like if you look at I think what's one ozone. It's oath. No, no, no. Anyway, if you look at ethylene, that would be a 180-degree bond, less tightness, so less electronegativity. You take it from here, Zeke. If we have less electronegativity, that means we're not caring so much about where the electron on our hydrogen atoms, which is a molecular species we're working with, goes. So it can go off to the environment and interact with it. But the molecular shape influences how the CH bond releases hydrogen. I reckon I got this backwards though.
Okay.
So I'm leaning towards having ethine. But we can try and work out why D wouldn't be right, because organic compounds are generally not considered acidic. Like, where would you go to in the stem to rule that out?
Mm, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't go to the stem. I would go organic compounds are generally not considered organic. I don't
I
really know
actually
what an
put that in
organic
as my first answer, bro, and I got it wrong.
right. Well, I don't really know what organic compounds are. Like my best guess would be that it has something to do with carbon, like because I don't know, it's organic.
Yeah, carbon of life.
Yeah, so organic carbon compounds are generally, and then I would probably say, well, why would they not be considered acidic? And I don't really have a reason for that.
Or their pH equals 7. What?
Okay,
I mean, if you just think about like amino acids, they're fully carbon based. You think about fats and like how fats move through like triglyceride walls and stuff. My cells. Um,
hmm.
it's definitely all operates through like biochemical pathways,
Yeah, I don't know.
pH gradients.
I'm just really heavily leaning on the
I'm such an idiot, bro.
reasoning component of this exam because I don't have that's like foundational knowledge base to work with. So I'm just if I can't figure out this question, if I can't figure out the questions through reasoning, then I'm pretty happy to not get it right. So I don't really know, bro.
I think we can also rule out B since like it doesn't follow a chain of linearity, like a bit weird. If you look at the categories of ethane, ethene, ethine, the S character is something that as we increase it, we get more bond.
I think I think I
More
seen
bond
I think I
angle.
seen James explain the reasoning behind this question somewhere as well on his. I'm not sure where it is, and I think it's behind a paywall now. His most of his stuff, so I'm not sure if you can access it. But there definitely was a video. I'm pretty sure it was this question where it explains all the reasoning and steps behind this question. If you want to have a look at that.
I think it's gonna be C. Oh no, A, sorry. Wow. It was either A or C.
Oh, there's an explanation there. Yeah, look at that.
How does that work? He needs to explain this, bro. My reasoning was the opposite. I said the S character increases, so we're gonna have less tight configurations.
What's the S character? What does that mean?
That just means there's a triple bond
Okay.
or a double bond. So usually, if you have like methane, it's sp3.
So basically, the more bonds there are.
You would say the bond CH in that case is sp3 hybridized. So they're tighter. They're tighter together, and therefore. Oh wait, no, I got the greater than symbols wrong. Yeah, that makes sense. Not 100% confident. By acidity.
All right, I gotta
Very
run.
hot.
I gotta run, bro. But that I don't know.
Noise.
I think you're pretty sweet. Like especially if you recognize after the reasoning, after
I
he's
mean,
giving
after
you the
all, if you're in
explanation.
such a rush, like section 3, you just go 50-50.
What do you mean?
It's like a lot of the questions I didn't even have a full grasp of like what I was reading. I was just like kind of guessing. So to get it 50-50 is a win.
Oh, I see what you mean. So like narrow it down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
All right, see, bro. All right, see you again. We're gonna call it.